So this video is going to go through how to open a problem or a PDF packet with Kami and how to turn it back in. I thought this would be useful for some of you who are trying to complete some of this stuff online and are having some difficulty with it. So this is an assignment that I created. Some of you guys can actually see this assignment, but I wanted to not show a class that had students visible, so that's why I picked this. It is an old item, so this is not something you could currently access. When Kami is on your computer, you can see here, this is an assignment that is due Friday, October 16th at 11:59 p.m. It does have a PDF attached to it, and one of the options over here is Open with Kami. So if you open with Kami, that'll actually allow you to draw on the document, and you can then download to your Google Drive and you can save this. If you do not see Open with Kami as an option, you may need to add the extension of Kami to your computer. To do that, you would open up a new tab. If you type in Kami into your Google search, it should be one of the first things that comes up. So you can see here, this one, Kami extension, PDF and document annotation. So I went ahead and clicked on that, and it should bring up a place for you to add the extension to your device. I'm on my Chromebook currently, but I did go through and add it to my laptop so that it's something that is available. So notice it is already on my device. So here in this box, mine says remove from Chrome instead of add to Chrome. So you would just make sure that you click add extension in this area, and that'll add. You'll see this little K symbol here. You'll see that up at the top. You also notice, since I'm on my Chromebook, there's a K down here in this bottom bar as well. So I can just open Kami up and pull things into it and edit that way as well. So if we go back to our problem, I'm going to click Open with Kami, and it is going to load. It may ask a few different questions. I did go through and start the sign up, so it is going to ask you a couple of things about your permissions for Google Drive, how you're going to be using this, so just answer those appropriately. For this one, needs to know I'm using Kami for K through 12 school. You guys would pick student. I'm going to pick teacher because of my role. And are you using a learning management system? I'm going to put yes, I am using one, and we are using Schoology. I'm going to go ahead and put in the zip code and the high school there, which did come up, but make sure I select that, and then I can finish doing my registration. So it says, this seems like a scanned PDF. Would you like to add the text? I'm going to put no. I'm not going to add the text to this. So this was our PSAT practice packet with calculator, and I know some of my students did turn this in, but I wanted to make sure I went over this with everybody. So you can see there are a couple of things that are locked over here on the side, but luckily there are some things that are open and available for you to use. So we have the drawing, which is going to be one of the more beneficial things for this. I'm going to use actually this pink highlighter thing. And let's see here, stroke thickness, I'm going to make that a nice 8. And I can go through and I can draw on this and circle my circle whatever I want for my answers. You could actually write your scratch work out with your mouse if you wanted to, and we could go from there. So let me see what this looks like. So that's going to be a little bit, I want more transparent because I want to highlight that. I'm actually going to go back and erase what I have there, go back to my drawing, and now I should be able to, I can highlight. So for question number 1, let's say I wanted to answer B, I could go through and I could highlight B. For question number 8, notice how it stayed on my page. I could do, C for that one. This one I could do B. I'm not saying these are the correct answers. And this one I could do, A. So you could actually go through whenever we have a document like this, if you need to just mark answers, you can go through and do that. I know some people also did circles. So I think there's a shape tool on here. So I saw some students that turned in circles. So they would go through and draw like a circle for what their correct answers are. And that's very light. So you may want to try to pick, I don't know, a darker color if you were going to use the circle tool. So you could use the circle as well. When you are done, when you are satisfied that everything is as it should be, you want to come up to the top, and you actually do not use this turn in, because when you do turn in, things don't necessarily turn in the way that they're supposed to. There's a download button, and that's what you should press. And while I'm thinking about it, you can also do text boxes as well. I didn't do text boxes on here, but you can make a text box, and you could say something like this: I am using Kami, in the middle of whatever you have here. So again, once you're satisfied with this, you want to come up to this arrow that is download. This is going to download to your Google Drive. One of the things that you had to give permission for was to add permission to access Google Drive. So when we click this, you can see, would you like to export to your computer or Google Drive? I'm going to click Google Drive. You do want to make sure that you are saving your PDF with your annotations. That would be the answers. You don't want to save the original. The original, although has been already downloaded, but you want to make sure that the annotations is the one that you turn in. File name. This is extremely important. And in talking with other teachers, this is where students have run into issues. This file name, you want to make it something so that you know what document you are dealing with. So this is PSAT with calc. I'm going to call this final because this is the final copy that I want to turn in. So I'm going to do all pages. You could also choose to do annotated pages if you only answered a couple. I'm going to go ahead and do all and then begin export. So this has now been saved to my Google Drive. I'm going to open Google Drive so I can go there and see where it's at. So once you are in Google Drive, you should be able to see, it depends on how your drive is arranged, if you have your current stuff first, or if it's alphabetical. And I do have a lot of stuff in my drive, so it's taking a bit to load here. But you should be able to find your document in Google Drive. Whenever you then submit, this was saved as a PDF from Google, so you can submit that PDF directly to your assignment in Schoology. So this won't, I'm going to pop over here for a second. This does not come up the same way as it does on your screen because this is a teacher view rather than a student view. But whenever you are on your assignment, there should be a place to click submit, and then you can attach that document from your Google Drive. Your Google Drive should be linked with your Schoology, so you can upload it right from there. And my Google Drive is still going. So our internet has been a bit slow recently at the high school, which is probably why we're having some of the issues. Notice even though I went to Google Drive and I downloaded it, if I come back here, you can still see the original document is still there. So I could go through and make changes, and then I could download it again if I wasn't satisfied. I would just make sure that if you download it again, that you do save under a name that you'll be able to find it within your Google Drive then. And I don't know that we're going to be able to get this to come up during this video. So again, if you do have any, oh, there we are. Notice there was a folder here, Kami Schoology Assignments. And here's my one that I did, PSAT with Calc Final. If I click on this, double click on this, it opens up, and I should be able to see all of the things that I did with Kami with that. It is still loading, so nothing has come up quite yet, but the annotation should come up with your assignment. This is a very useful tool, and we're lucky to have access to it. I know it's not always going to be the best way to turn in work, but this is another option if you don't want to type questions out, and especially I had some students who were not quite following directions with how they were supposed to answer the questions. So this is always going to be something that is available to you. Still waiting for it to load. And there we go. It's starting to pop in. So it does take a while for things to load, depending on the speed of your internet with Kami, but you can see all the highlight marks that I made are there. So I hope this was useful. Please utilize Kami as much as possible. It should be very easy to use on the Chromebooks, and you can download the Kami extension for any device, any laptop. I'm not so sure about cell phones, but you have other ways to do things with the cell phone. So just like everything else, please contact me if you have any questions.